The spring ranking video will come soon, but in the meantime, Lightyear just came out and I have some thoughts on it. Going into this, I didn't really expect much. I've come to not expect anything out of Pixar anymore just because I don't think people should have unrealistic expectations of their movies, something that time and time again, people have kind of failed to learn. But even then, on a concept level, this was pretty weird. For the past few Pixar movies, they've had great ideas and concepts. A pre-life seminar where a man's soul realizes the joys in living, a simple slice-of-life story of sea monsters shimmering onto the shore, and a girl who gains red panda powers that emerge when she feels strong emotions. Here, it's just a Buzz Lightyear solo movie, which sounds so cool, but leaves so little creative space that it feels conceptually silly. And I guess the writers knew that too, because this film was just okay. It's funny because I don't think there's a lot I can say, at least on a structural level. It's not like it does anything spectacular visually. There are a couple of awesome shots with great action and cinematography, but the animation style itself isn't really my taste. I'm not all that crazy for, whoa, look at this photorealistic animation, as I am for more stylized visuals like Pixar's previous entries. I also found the story to be pretty dull. It starts out as Buzz trying to find the right formula for a power source that will help get everyone off a planet they crashed on, and then it's about destroying an alien spaceship in the future so that he can get back to his people. All of this sounds pretty simple, but what really kills it is the pacing. Everything moves way too fast, the characters can practically teleport, and every potential emotional development is just glossed over. I didn't have a problem with this in Raya, but here it's not helped by the fact that the characters aren't that interesting on their own or even as a unit. Buzz himself is also kind of a weird character. I like what they were trying to do with him, but due to the strange series-esque pacing, it gets very muddled in its execution. His journey in the film is about his obsession with owning up to his past mistakes, when what he needs to learn is to move forward and let everyone live their lives, including himself. He has an initial distaste for working with others, especially those who are inexperienced, but it's not only because they annoy him, but also because he doesn't want anyone to get hurt over his actions. This is perfectly serviceable with a lot of impactful potential. The problem is that the pacing absolutely burns it all to ashes. He has no chemistry with any of the other characters who aren't all that interesting to begin with, and at times it just feels like the same plot point repeated over and over again. Buzz gets annoyed with his team, they go their separate ways, they come back against his will, and he has to learn to accept them. Socks is arguably the best character because of how funny and resourceful he is. And without getting into major spoilers, I do like what they tried to do with Zurg, but it would have worked a lot better if Buzz was a more aggressive person. Also, the exchanges between Buzz and Zurg in the final battle were not very good. It's not like I can't fall in love with a movie with a somewhat confusing and meandering plot. After all, Green Snake was one of my favorite films of last year. But unlike Lightyear, I actually liked Xiao Qin's character and was invested in her growing relationship with the Faceless Man. And it's not like a character who pushes people away can't work if they aren't aggressive, but unlike Buzz, characters like Meggie or Anji push people away through concern for their safety or just by constantly lying, respectively. Just very noticeable. You could have done better, and I actually love this. I can technically call it good based on a couple shots, the action, and Socks being the best character, but I don't care enough about it to say anything else. Overall, a meandering 6 out of 10 experience. But speaking of Pride, TPOT 2 has finally been released after a year and a half, and it's pretty okay. I have mentioned before a few times that I highly dislike the finale to BFB, but I was somewhat looking forward to the second episode of TPOT. And we have it now, and I've got to say it's an improvement on the first, but only by a bit. I can't say it's as good as many of Season 4A's episodes, but it is very entertaining and a much more pleasant experience than Lightyear. The challenge allowed for some good character interactions, great comedy, and some engaging tension. My one major issue is the one that I've always had with this series since the split: the haphazard character development. Aside from a select few, almost every character is either doing nothing, being generic, or just acting in ways contradictory to their pre-split incarnations. That said, I think this is Black Hole's best episode. Teardrop is still the best character by a large margin. I really appreciated her involvement, and I want a Gadian 2 podcast. Also, Gady is implied trans. Now, ONE is a show that I have just recently caught up with. Its second season is airing right now on YouTube, and this is one of the biggest surprises I've had with any series. It's a great twist on the object show formula, transforming it from a fun, lighthearted comedy to an agonizing psychological horror. Right now, plot points previously established are getting some payoff, and it's brilliant. I can't say it's a personal favorite of mine, but it is very exciting and worth a watch. For some reason, I didn't know until recently that Dead End Paranormal Park is already on Netflix, so go watch it. You should also watch Vampire in the Garden on Netflix. It is one of the best things I've seen this year so far, with an engaging story, lovely characters, and great action. It's very short with only 5 episodes, so there. And I recently rewatched Princess Principal and Liz and the Bluebird, some of the best things ever, especially Liz and the Bluebird. Anyway, what did you think of Lightyear? Happy Pride to everyone, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thank you for watching, and see you next time!